Good morning, level 6 students. I hope you all are doing good and staying safe at home. So let's come back to our grammar. I want you all to open your grammar books. Open the Adverbs chapter, page 76. And for now, let's start with page 76, okay? So as you see, students, on my screen, in this lecture, we'll be focusing on exercise G on page 77, and then we will be doing exercise H on page 78, and I will also share you the answers of the given assigned homework, the homework that I gave in the previous lecture. Okay, that was exercise E, last 4 questions. Okay, so I want you all to watch my lecture, the video, carefully and attentively, and sit with pencil in your hands and eyes on your books. Okay, so I'll quickly give you a review, a quick revise in case if you have forgotten. What is an adverb? Adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjective, or other adverbs also, right? So let's see. Adverbs can tell you how something is done. For example, speak nicely or work hard. In this one, the verb is speak. What kind of speaking is done? Nicely, huh? Nicely tells you what kind it is. Just like that, work hard. Someone tells you work hard. Someone wants you to work really hard. Like, what kind of work should be done? Hard one. Okay, like that. Adverbs can also tell you how much or how many of something you have. Basically, these are the intensifiers. They tell you about intensity of something. Now, let's quickly go through the main types of adverbs and position in the sentence, how they are used in a sentence. Okay, let's focus. Adverbs, the main kinds of adverbs, will be focusing on the main kinds. I will tell you the first main kinds are like 5. Okay, adverb of time, manner, place, degree, and frequency. Let's begin with adverb of time. Okay, adverb of time provides more information about when a verb takes place. Adverbs of time are usually placed at the beginning or end of a sentence. Okay, now the example of these words are like never, lately, just, recently. Okay, students, now I'll show you how it can be used in a sentence. Okay, for example, I haven't been going to the gym lately. Next one, we recently bought a new car. Here, recently and lately tell you about what time they are not doing this thing or they have done this one. Recently means just nowadays. Okay, means this is just now they bought like a new car. Like that it is done. Let's come to next one. I hope it is very clear to you and easy also. Let's come to next one. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner provide more information about how a verb is done. Adverbs of manner are probably the most common of all adverbs. They're easy to spot too. Most of them will end in ly. Okay, for example, the example of the words neatly, slowly, lazily, quickly. How it can be used in a sentence? For example, like here, I'll show you. A white cat rested lazily on the sofa. She wrote neatly. Like that it can be done. Okay, next, adverbs of place. Adverbs of place illustrate where the verb is happening. It's usually placed after the main verb or object or at the end of the sentence. Now the examples can be like here, there, outside, nowhere, inside, like that. Okay, and how it can be used in a sentence? Come here. Here is underlined. Here gives you idea about where someone should come, right? Where when someone gives you idea about some location or position, place of something, then for that we use adverbs of place. Next example, go outside and water the garden. Outside tells you about the location where someone should go and water, right? Okay, now let's come to next kind, adverbs of degree. Okay, adverbs of degree explain the level or intensity of the verb adjective or even another adverb. The example of adverb of degree: almost, quite, extremely, rarely, all the time, like that. These words also tell you about the happening of something, happens how many times, how much, less, more. Okay, like that. How much less, how much more of something. For example, the water was extremely cold. Extremely tells you it was very, very, very cold, right, students? Now see next example. The book is quite interesting. Quite is our adverb of degree. Okay, now students, let's come to next one. Okay, adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency explain how often the verb occurs. They're often placed directly before the main verb of a sentence. Examples can be never, always, rarely, okay, which tell you about something of happening, that how many times it happens, it all the time happens, always happens, or it never happens. Okay. Now we will see how it is used in a sentence. I rarely eat fast food these days. Next example. I always go to bed before 11 p.m. Now you see, students, I hope that was very clear to you and it's easy to understand. These are the basic kinds, okay? Now for that we'll come to next exercise. Now students, open page 77, exercise G. Question says, underline the adverbs in these sentences. Write what type of adverb it is. And in the question they have given you these kinds. The kinds are adverb of manner, place, time, degree, number, or interrogative, or frequency. Number is when they mention when in a sentence they're talking about number. That will be, we will be considering it as the adverb of number. And interrogative adverb means the questioning words. Questioning adverbs. Okay, students, so easy. Okay, let's start with number 1 in your books. The little ant worked industriously all day and all night. So students, in this sentence you see which one is the adverb used. The used adverb in this one is like industriously. Like I told you, in these adverbs they're really very easily noticeable, and they're always ending with ly. And what is meant by industriously? Industriously means working very hard. When someone works really hard, then we call it as industriously. Okay, so students, in your books I want you all to underline industriously, and in the given blank in my presentation, in this lecture, here the blank is done in red color. Okay, so it can be easily noticeable for you. So in the blank we will write manner. What kind of adverb it is? Adverb of manner. Okay, now let's come to number 2. The other ants really appreciated her efforts. What kind of adverb is used here? Yes, students, your guess is all right. Really is the adverb used here, and really tells you like too much. They really give appreciation to this ant, and really is the adverb of degree. Okay, students, now come to number 3. One day the ant decided to go out. One day the ant decided to go out. Now students, tell me, is any number used here? Interrogative, manner, degree, frequency, which one is used? Yes, it's so easy to point out, right? So let's focus on 1. From these given kinds we can take number, so we will underline 1, and in the blank what we will write? Number. Very good. Now let's come to number 4. She climbed rapidly out of the ant hill. Okay, now you see, students, she climbed rapidly means fast, in hurry. Okay, so that tells you about it gives you idea about the time, right, students? Like fast, without wasting any minute, fast with the speed. Okay, she climbed rapidly out of the ant hill. So the adverb used here is rapidly. I want you all to underline rapidly, and in the blank you will write time. Okay, that was easy, right? Let's come to number 5. She could see tall grass everywhere. So which adverb tells you about the location of something here? Everywhere. Underline everywhere. And what you will write in the blank? Place. Okay, just like that. Come to number 6. Suddenly, a huge spider came towards her. So students, here what is the adverb used that gives you, tells you, and gives you information about something? Suddenly. Suddenly means quickly. Okay, in a moment. So students, I want you all to underline suddenly, and in the blank you will write time. Number 7. The clever little ant rolled sideways under the spider. Where she went, where she rolled? Sideways. Okay, the place is on the sides. From there she escaped. So students, I want you all to underline sideways, and what kind of adverb it is? Yes, good guess. This is the adverb of place. Now let's come to number 8. Usually, the spider could catch any ant he wanted. Okay, students. So here, which word is telling you about something like all the time, most of the times, like usually means most of the time. Whatever the spider want to eat, they can eat anytime. Okay, they are very good with hunting. So I want you all students to underline usually, and in the blank you will write degree. Okay, now let's come to number 9. He couldn't see this ant anywhere. Underline anywhere, and anywhere gives you idea about the place. Okay, so this is the adverb of place. Easy? It's fun, right? Now let's come to next. Number 10. Where could she be? I want you all to underline where, and where is asking you something, right? So it should be interrogative adverb of interrogative adverb. Okay, and write the correct spellings. I have noticed so many students write the wrong spellings. Okay, that's how you write interrogative, and spell it properly while writing. Number 11. In the end, he gave up and walked homewards. Where the spider went? Homewards. Homeward means towards home. So underline homewards, and this is adverb of place. Okay. So students, underline homewards, and what you will write in the blank? Place. Now let's come to number 12. The ant heaved a sigh of relief and happily returned to the ant hill. Here, what was the condition of the ants? They went back happily because they are saved, right? So students, happily, underline happily, and what kind of adverb it is? So easy to tell. Yes, adverb of manner. In the blank, you will write manner. Okay, and what we will underline here? Happily. Okay, students, my dear students, as we have finished exercise G, next thing we have is position of adverbs on page 77. So students, in my slides, you have noticed I told you a quick review about adverbs, definition, meaning, and its kinds. Okay, how it is used in sentences, also that the positions that I told you. Now I will summarize it for you. Okay, adverbs, our preference is to put it after the verb. We will find in a sentence, we will see if there is a verb, helping verb, main verb is mentioned, so after that only we'll put it. Okay, or else there are some adverbs, the specific kinds are adverb of time or degree. Sometimes they are preferably placed at the end of the sentence also, and with the time they can also be put in the beginning. Okay, and if it is group of words, adverbs, they form group of words also, we call them the adverbial phrase, that can simply be put at the sentence to make our sentence more meaningful and clearly deliver the meanings. Okay, now one more thing, we all know always a sentence is having a subject in it, a noun or a proper noun or anything or a pronoun they can be talking about. Okay, if there is a proper noun, then that is the subject of our sentence. Okay, in that case it can be placed after the subject of the sentence, after the main verb or helping verb, or there are objects in our sentences also. Okay, in some of the subject sentences objects will be given, so they can also be placed after the objects. Clear, students? So it's very easy and fun to do. Let's start doing. I will start with number 1. So students, there is one more thing. I want you all to read the focus on the green boxes. I quickly give you a review how it is done. Okay, how can they be placed? I will do the summary again. Okay, on page 77 and 78 there is a green box mentioned. I want you all to focus on that also. Now take out your pencils and let's start doing. Okay, now you see, students, in question number 1, exercise H says, look at the adverbs in brackets, rewrite the sentences with the adverbs in the correct position. Okay, so now you see number 1 says leopards are seen in some areas around Gilgit. Bracket says commonly. Now we have to find out what kind of adverb commonly is. Commonly is adverb of degree. It gives you idea about when you go there, like you can see them all the time. Means there are so many of them. Okay. So students, are here is the helping verb. Okay. Now let's put it and let's start writing. Okay. Write it with me. Let's focus. Leopards. Leopards are commonly seen in some areas around Gilgit. Okay, easy. Now you see, helping verb is are and bracket says commonly. How I put it here, how I placed it here. Huh? Was it easy, students? It's fun to do, right? Let's read it all again. Okay, leopards are commonly seen in some areas around Gilgit. Gilgit is a name of place. Okay, now it's easy and clear to you. Okay, yes, I know it's very easy and very interesting. Let's come to number 2. Some earthquake survivors are living in tents, and bracket says still. Okay, so students, let's focus. We have helping verb here are. So let's put this one, position it here to make our sentence very meaningful. Okay, so let's start writing. It will become some earthquake. Space is less, so I will recommend you all to write it, in small letters. Okay, survivors are still living in tents. Okay, easy, students. I will repeat. Some earthquake survivors are still living in tents. That was easy and fun also. Yes, it's very easy. Okay, number 3, let's do it. Are we going today? And bracket says anywhere. What do you say? Yes, we are going, huh? No, we are staying home and working and studying. Okay, now let's do it. Bracket says anywhere. Can you tell me what kind of adverb anywhere is? Yes, your guess is right. Adverb of place. Okay. So students, let's focus something very easy. Okay. The verb we have is going. Okay. So let's put it after going. So it will become, are we going anywhere today? Question mark. Are we going anywhere today? Easy? Huh? Now let's come to number 4. Okay. Number 4 says you have done well in science but need to improve in mathematics. Bracket says enough. Now students, let's focus. Like I told you, adverbs also modify verbs, adjectives or other adverbs also. In this case, this one enough is an adverb. Okay. This will also be giving meaning to another adverb. Okay. So let's pick it out one. You have done well in science but need to improve in mathematics. How this person has done in science, can you tell me? Well, this person has done well. Okay, so we will place enough with this well. Okay, this enough should be defining this well here. Okay, so it will become you have done well enough in science but need to improve in mathematics. So students, let's start writing. You have done well enough in science but need to improve in mathematics. So students, I'm having spacing issues, so you write it properly. Okay, take less space while writing. This thing happens because in our books so many questions are given and they're all congested. Okay, so now let's come to number 5. Number 5 says Mr. Mahmood goes for a walk. Okay, Mr. Mahmood goes for a walk. Yeah. So students, let's focus. Yes. Now we will be doing number 5. Okay. Number 5. Okay. So it will become Mr. Mahmood goes for a walk. Now students, let's pick main verb here. Walk is the main verb. And occasionally tells you when he goes, like sometimes, not all the time, right? So this occasionally will be put after the main verb here. So it will become Mr. Mahmood goes for a walk occasionally. Occasionally, but he needs more exercise. Like that we can do. Okay, clear students? That was easy. This occasionally will be put here. Okay, now let's come to number 6. It says Meena has promised to write after she goes to boarding school. Boarding school, and the bracket says often. So here students, often is what kind of adverb? Often is actually the adverb of, often means sometimes. Okay, it is another adverb, and this is also the adverb of degree. Okay, so here see students, what is the main verb given? Main verb is right. Okay, so we will place it after this one. It will become Meena has promised to write after, to write often, write often, to write often after she goes to boarding school. Goes to boarding school. Full stop. Like that we will do. Easy students. Now let's come to number 7. Let me read it for you. I can believe that exams are over! Exclamation mark. So this sentence is basically an exclamation. Okay. Exclamation means it's an expression. Someone is expressing. Okay. And the bracket says hardly, finally. There are 2 options given in the bracket. Okay. So students, here, can anyone tell me which one is the helping verb? Let's pick the helping verb, okay? I can believe that the exams are over. There are the two things are given. One is hardly and other one is finally. So helping verb we will pick can is the helping verb, okay? You all know the examples of helping verbs. You all know what are helping verbs, students? Helping verbs are basically the words which are used to help in joining the sentences, statements together, right? Helping verb. They're basically connecting. They link the words, the subject with the predicate, the sentences or the noun or the adverb or the adjective. Okay, in a sentence there are so many things mentioned, put together, framed in a sentence to give the meanings properly. So this was the helping verb. We can call them linking verbs also. So we can put this hardly there after the helping verb. It will become I can hardly I can hardly believe hardly believe that the exams are, then again students, are is another helping verb, right? So we will put this one here, are finally over, exclamation mark. You have done with exclamation. Easy and fun also, right students? Now let's come to number 8. Okay students, I will read number 8 now. Okay, number 8 will become Rihanna and Rashida stay at home when their parents go to work. Bracket says alone. So what is the verb given here? Stay. Okay, so we will put it here. We'll place it after this verb. It's so easy and fun to do. Let's start writing. Rihanna and Rashida stay alone at home when their parents go to work. Full stop. Clear? Easy, huh? Now let's come to number 9. The gardener shouted when the children trampled on the flower beds. Bracket says angrily. Trampled means stepped or walked on it. Okay. So what happened here? Angrily. Angrily is one adverb. Okay. That is the adverb given in the bracket. Can you tell me what kind of adverb it is? Yes, you're right. Angrily is the adverb of manner. So students, what main verb be, action verb we have here? Shouted. What kind of shout was that? It was an angry one. So where should it be placed? Yes, very good. Your guess is right. Just after shouted. So it will become the gardener. The gardener shouted angrily when the children trampled on the flower beds. Full stop. Is this clear to you, students? Fun, right? Yes. Now let's come to number 10. Okay. Mahim plays the sitar but needs to practice. Bracket says beautifully more. So this person Mahim plays sitar. Sitar is it's basically a musical instrument similar to guitars. Okay, cello or guitars. This thing is in between of that. So yeah, in some of the sentences, like I mentioned, the objects are given. In these cases, we always place these kinds of adverbs after the object. So students, can anyone tell what is the object given here? Yes, this is the object. So that is the object. Okay. Therefore, beautifully would be mentioning this object. Okay. So we should prefer putting it after the object. Okay. but needs to practice, and we have main verb also, right students? So this more should be placed after the verb. It will become Mahim plays the sitar beautifully, beautifully, but needs to practice more. Good students, and fun also, right? Now let's come to number 11. 11 says Bibu walked to her chair, bracket says back slowly. Okay, so what is the verb given here? Walked is the verb. Okay, so what kind of walk was that? That is the verb given here. So walked, he walked where? Towards the chair. Okay, so we will put this adverb walked back to the chair. Now we have another object in this sentence. Like I told you, it should always be placed after the object or after the main verb. Okay, in both the cases we'll do it like this. So it will become this person. Let's start writing, students. Bibu walked back, walked back, walked back to her chair slowly. Full stop. Clear, students? Easy and fun also? Yes. Now let's come to next one. Yes. You need to work or you will not pass the exams. Bracket says harder. Harder is the adverb given here. So students, tell me what is the main verb here? What kind of? Yeah, exactly. This is the main verb given or action verb. Okay. Like I told you, it will be placed after the main verb. Okay. So it will become you need to work harder, work harder. Okay. Or you will not, or you will not, or you will not pass the exams, pass the exams. Full stop. Okay, easy. Now let's come to number 13. We expect the train to be delayed. Bracket says somewhat. Somewhat. Somewhat is given the adverb. Okay, so what is the verb given here? Delayed. Okay, so let's start writing. So we will put it after this one. Here in this case, delayed will be defined by this adverb, so that means it will be placed here. Okay, it will become we expect the train, we expect the train to be somewhat delayed. Okay, full stop. Easy? Yes, very easy and interesting. Huh? Now let's come to number 14. The children are playing on the swings. Bracket says happily. Happily is what kind of adverb, students? Yes, happily is the adverb of manner. So students, let's pick this one. We have the what kind of verb we have here? The main verb is playing. So easy, huh? So we should preferably put it after this verb. It will become the children are playing happily on the swings, full stop. Okay, now let's come to number 15. 15 says Mira and Tanya met when they were 3 years old. Bracket says first. So students, let's focus on the verb. What is the verb given here? Met. Okay, so we will put this one for the verb. Okay, first is the adverb of number. You all know that, right? Adverb of number. Adverb of number, this one is placed before the verb. Okay, this kind of adverb, so it will become, and we also have to check whether the sentence makes sense or not. You have to check the sensibility test. Check this one and then start writing. Okay, first you will recall that in your heart, in your mind, then you will focus and start writing. Mira and Tanya first met when they were 3 years 3 years old. Full stop. Clear? Clear to you all, students? Yes, it's so fun. Okay, and also clear. Now let's come to number 16. Number 16 says, let's read it. I phoned Mirage, but he was not at home. Bracket says twice. Okay, twice. So now, in this sentence, the subject is Mirage is this one, the subject to whom they phone, like this person. So anyways, here what we'll be doing, we'll putting this adverb after Mirage. Okay, so it will become I found, the proper noun actually I'm talking about. Here it's not Mirage, is actually the proper noun. I found Mirage twice. So here we will be putting it after the proper noun. Okay, students, the name, like you all know, the naming and all kinds of names, whether they are of places, institutions, humans, schools, whatever it is, they are all called the proper nouns. Okay, Mirage twice, but he was he was he was not at home. Full stop. Okay, now let's come to number 17. 17 says, Mohsen came to my birthday party late. Bracket says late. Late is the adverb here. Okay, students, so what is the this one main verb here? Came. Okay, so this will put after this one. It will become Mohsen came late. Late to my birthday. Late to my birthday party. Okay, now let's come to number 18. Mrs. Martin has trained her children to talk, bracket says, politely and always. So here, politely is what kind of adverb, students? Yes, adverb of manner. And always is what kind of adverb? We can say adverb of frequency. Okay, this also gives you idea about something happening, occurrence of something, like how many times on a scale, like how much something happens. So you can tell all the time or sometimes or rarely, whatever it is, like that it can be done. So what should come here? Mrs. Martin has trained the children to talk, practices politely and always. Now you see, students, has is the helping verb. We'll be putting this one. Now we have to see which one makes sense. They are given two brackets. Okay, so if we take politely first, it will become Mrs. Martin has politely trained. No, why she has to be like that, huh? So we will make it Mrs. Martin has always trained her children to talk politely. What kind of talk this person can do? What can she teach her children to do? To talk politely. Now you see it makes sense, right? Now let's start writing. So we will fix it like this. Here we'll put all has. With has we will put always. Okay, and what is the main verb here? Talk. Okay, so after talk we'll put politely. Let's start writing. Mrs. Martin has always trained her children, her children to talk politely. Full stop. Clear? Fun. Now, let's come to numbers. The tortoise crawled but won the race. Bracket says slowly in the end. Okay. So you see, slowly is the adverb of manner. So which verb defines, slowly defines which verb here? Crawled is the main verb that is defining slowly. And in the, you see, in the end is the group of words, which means this is when the groups of words join together and they're defining basically the situation, condition, place, position, or time. A group of words defining this thing, then they are called the adverbial phrases. Adverbial phrases, we preferably always put it at the end of the sentence to make our sentence more meaningful, to let the sentence deliver its full meanings. Okay. So it will become, the tortoise crawled slowly. The tortoise crawled slowly, but won the race in the end, because he never stopped. He kept on moving no matter what. Whatever the speed this tortoise was having, but he kept on crawling. Okay, so that means whenever you keep on working, steady wins the race. You do not have to stop. When you stop, so you stop succeeding. When you start, you will always win. Okay, so that gives you a good lesson. Hope the lecture you find it very interesting and easy. Okay, students, like I told you, we just finished this exercise H, and in my previous lecture, like I remember, this one was on page 76. Students, I want you all to open page 76. Okay, on page 76 there was exercise E. I remember that. Okay, students, like I remember on page 76, exercise A. In this exercise, I gave you 6 questions in the lecture, okay? And I gave you 7, 8, and 9 and 10 as a homework. So now I'm going to give you a quick review of the answers so you can recheck your homework, and I'm sure you have done them correctly. And in case if you have made any mistake, you can erase with your pencil, erase it with your eraser, and rewrite the answers correctly with me. Number 7, I will read it. If the team had played well, they would have reached the final certainly. Well is the adverb here, so this well would be, this is the well, and we have to convert it into the second degree, which is called the comparative. So it will become better. Well will be changed into better, and with this better, you will put the certainly over there. Okay, the certainly will be defining this adverb. It will become, let's start writing the answer, students. If the team had played better, certain, certainly they would have reached the finals. Like that you will do. Okay, number 8, the answer should be, Shakufta has been waiting. I told you what is the adverb here, waiting long for her turn, then your bracket says then you. So this is the adverb. What kind of wait she did? Long wait. She waited for a more time. Okay, so what is the second degree of long? This adverb will be changed into second degree to become longer for her turn than you. So it will become longer than you for her turn. It will become Shagufta has been waiting. Students, I don't need to write. I'm just writing it so you can actually just confirm, okay? Otherwise, you know it how you have to write. Shagufta has been waiting, waiting, waiting longer than you for her turn. Full stop. Okay, now number 9. The teacher asked Mahmoud to speak loudly, bracket says, in the next debate. So students, what is the adverb here? Speak is the main verb, and which word here is defining this verb, modifying this verb here? Loudly. And the comparative degree of this loudly would be more loudly, okay? The teacher asked Mahmoud to speak more loudly, more loudly, more loudly in the next debate. Full stop. Okay. Number 10. Read the questions carefully before you answer. Brackets in the final exam. So students, carefully is the adverb. So the second degree, what we will do, simply you will add more. So the whole line will remain same, and like I told you, these are the adverbial phrases. They are generally just placed at the end of the sentence to make them more meaningful. Either you can put them in the beginning, or you can attach them at the end, at the tail of the sentence, or it can be placed in the head part also. You have this choice. Both the ways the answer can be. In the final exam, read the questions more carefully, or you can say read the questions more carefully before you answer in the final exam. Choice is yours. Both ways the answer is correct. Okay, let's start writing. Read the questions. Read the questions more carefully. More carefully before you answer in the final exam. Full stop. Easy and fun also. Clear to you all, students? Okay. I hope you get it and you understood all the chapter. Now I will see you in the next lecture, students. Now in this part we'll be focusing on grammar first, okay? After adverbs, next thing we'll be doing is prepositions, okay? See you next lecture, okay? Take care, have fun and study well. Bye.